on to the program. President Uhuru Kenyatta has this afternoon delivered an address hallmarked by fresh economic directives geared towards reviving the tea, coffee and dairy sector, and a major cabinet reshuffle that has seen Mwangi Kiunjuri fired from his post as Agriculture Cabinet Secretary. In the seemingly hard-hitting and comprehensive speech, the president also reaffirmed his government's commitment to winning the war on graft. The newly recommended NHIF regulations have also been halted with immediate effect until further consultations can be held by the ministry. Well, let's bring in our reporter, Sophia Wanuna, live for us from the Coast region. She has been following up on this State of the Nation address by the President. Sophia, good afternoon. Quite a lot of changes there effected in the cabinet this afternoon. Talk to us about the politics of this reshuffle.
Good afternoon, Michelle. Indeed, that statement from President Uhuru Kenyatta just about an hour ago from State House here in Mombasa County, closely watched, and a reshuffle in his cabinet. This is the core team that assists the president in managing the affairs of the country. And as you stated, the one who has faced the axe as cabinet minister, now former cabinet minister Mwangi Kiunjuri of Agriculture. In that statement, as he read out, several of the other ministers moved, and I'm sure we'll have some of those graphics up in this broadcast. But Rachel Omamo, who has been in defense, will now take over the position of Foreign Affairs Ministry, and pretty much they'll be swapping with Dr. Ambassador Monica Juma, who has been Foreign Affairs, now to move to defense. Samson Chelugui, who has been the Water CS, now moved to Labour. And Labour CS Uhuru Yatani, now the substantive CS. Remember, he's been acting in Treasury following the suspension of Henry Rotich. So substantively as well, Henry Rotich, now former minister. You have Uhuru Yatani fully taking over that position. Cecily Karaoke as well been moved to water. So the new entrants in Uhuru Kenyatta's cabinet, you have Betty Maina, industrialization. As those news, that report came out and the statement by the president, the news been welcomed because she has been a critical key player understanding the issues around manufacturing and industry as well. So she has been appointed to that position, as well as Mutahi Kagwe getting the health docket. Now this, of course, has to go through Parliament, the approval process, vetting and all before they can take those positions in cabinet. But to go back to the firing of Mwangi Kiunjuri, for many this does not come as a surprise, because you remember this is a CS who clearly got to the nerves of the president on several occasions. We saw those very public humiliation, dressed down, reprimanding of a CS by the president during public functions. And at the time, understandably so, because agriculture a critical docket, because remember, in his speech today, Michelle, President Kenyatta began by talking about the economy, and Kenya's economy, her backbone is agriculture. And he went on to talk about farmers and the plight of farmers and the various challenges they face. However, with Mwangi Kiunjuri at the helm of that ministry, it's faced several challenges. And unfortunately, we did not see those being resolved as one would imagine behind closed doors. The president on 2-3 occasions publicly reprimanding Mwangi Kiunjuri. So today's firing of Mwangi Kiunjuri definitely not coming as a surprise to many pundits who have been watching political and developments, especially as far as governance is concerned. And he has also been very much engaged in politics. So already the sentiment being that perhaps he can now focus on the 2022 politics. We'll wait to see if there will in fact be a comment coming from him. But there was also some misunderstanding at some point when President Kenyatta announced that Betty Maina would be taking over industrialization. Many people thinking that meant Aidan Mohamed had also been sacked from cabinet. But this is because, remember, Aidan Mohamed held the portfolio of industrialization. He's now EAC. He has been EAC, CS and regional integration. So he continues to hold that position. So just to be clear, for those who may have imagined or thought that he also had been sacked, he has not. It is only Mwangi Kiunjuri who has left cabinet. Then you have those two entrants, Maina and Kagwe, and of course several of those CSs being moved in various ministries. But also important to note, Michelle, is there have also been changes around the principal secretaries and the CASs. So it's quite a raft of changes which we will update our viewers on, just exactly who's moved where, who's new in the cabinet, and also departments of ministries. For instance, you had the Ministry of Public Affairs, Gender and Youth. So youth has been hived out of that ministry. It's been taken to the ICT ministry. So CS Joe Musheru will not only be handling ICT matters, but youth affairs will also be under his docket. So in as far as the changes in cabinet, that is what we saw today and heard from President Kenyatta. Michelle.
Many thanks. That is Sophia Wanuna, our senior reporter, has been following up on that State of the Nation address from the coastal region. It actually mentions two new entrants into the cabinet there, former Nyeri Senator Mwangi Kiunjuri as well as Betty Maina. Only one cabinet secretary, that is Mwangi Kiunjuri, has been fired, clearing up a misconception that has been making rounds on social media that former industrialization CS Aidan Mohammed also got the axe. He remains as the cabinet secretary of East African Community and Regional Development. But let's take a look in more detail there, the cabinet reshuffles that have been made by the president. And to begin with Mutahi Kagwe here, he is a former Nyeri senator, now heading the Ministry of Health, formerly held by Cecily Kariuki. And we also have Betty Maina, another new entrant into the cabinet there, and she will be heading the Ministry of Trade and Industrialization. And Rachel Omamo, not new in the cabinet, but we've seen a swap here by President Uhuru Kenyatta. She now moves from the Ministry of Defense to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, swapping with Monica Juma, as you see there. Monica Juma now moving to the Ministry of Defense, having, of course, served as a former cabinet secretary for Foreign Affairs. We also have Cecily Kariuki, formerly in the health docket, now having been moved to the Ministry of Water and Irrigation, and Peter Munya now leaving the Ministry of Trade and taking over the agriculture docket, one that has seen Mwangi Kiunjuri get the axe. And as Sophia Wanuna reports, many said this was a long time coming, with food security being part of President Uhuru Kenyatta's Big Four agenda. Many complaints by Kenyans on how the Ministry of Agriculture was being handled. So Monica Juma there, moving to the Ministry of Defense. Another change is Simon Chelugui, formerly in the Ministry of Water, now acting as, not acting, but now being appointed as the Cabinet Secretary in the Ministry of Labour. And we also have Ukur Yatani, who has been confirmed today as the bona fide head of the National Treasury. Dr. Fred Matiang'i also getting that substantive confirmation as the Interior Cabinet Secretary. And last but not least, in the Cabinet Secretaries there, Amina Mohammed again being confirmed as the Sports Cabinet Secretary. We'll continue to update you on many other changes having been made. Permanent secretaries, principal secretaries, as well as the Cabinet Administrative Secretaries. We'll be giving you more on that.